Hey everybody, Joseph Simon with Bumbling Acres. I hope y'all are doing well. Belle, leave the elks alone. Our next door neighbor has an elk farm and the elks are rutting right now. So all the males are vying for dominance in the herd, and the only sound I've heard an elk make, because generally they don't like moo, is when the males fight and the submissive male gives up. It makes this very high-pitched whining noise. It's the only thing I've heard, because they don't grunt. I mean, they'll gnash their teeth together when you walk by, but they don't do anything else. So it's been kind of interesting, but we've heard this high-pitched whine throughout the last couple weeks, and it's driving my dogs crazy. But it's the elk when there's a dominance battle, and the elk that loses lets out this little whine, and that's going on. But that's not what the post today is about. Hi, Belle. Good girl. Good girl. Belle is our Great Pyrenees, who's very interested in the elk. So today is lessons learned from chickens. You know, one of the interesting takeaways from raising animals is how much you learn about yourself, or how much you learn about human nature from Mother Nature. And I've got my meat tractor set up where I have to move it daily so I can change the location of the meat birds, so they're constantly foraging. Though these Cornish, we're not going to use these again because they basically eat feed all day and they don't do a lot of foraging. So next year we'll get ones that are better foragers that don't put on weight so quick, obviously, but they're better for you. It's not just a feed-eating machine. But today, in the process of moving my meat tractor, pull it once a day, fill up its water, fill up their food. And we have 19 meat birds, and then we have 3 egg layers. They were just too small to introduce to the flock, and we hadn't set up a spot for them where they'd be safe to mature. So they are maturing with the meat birds till they're large enough where we can introduce them to the flock and they won't just get pecked to death. But in the process, I've got to open up my meat tractor and go in, and the latch is on the outside. So I can't go all the way in or latch myself in, or it becomes a meat bird and Joe area till my fiance gets back. Gage is has a soccer game tonight, so she's off supporting him while I get some things done around here. But the process of letting the meat birds filling up their food and filling up their water and everything, one of the leg layers got out. And it's a smaller egg layer. It's one of our smaller black ones. Like I said, it's too small to introduce to the flock. So it gets out, and it's running around this is a cage. It's an open cage where they get air and everything, but it's a cage no less. And this bird, in the process of, I tried to catch it at first, and I'm not nearly quick enough to catch a little chicken that's frightened for its life. It's our Aussie in the background, Aussie Shepherd, Harley. But in the process of finally, after chasing it for a few minutes, I realized this was not going to end well. And I simply left the door open. It's the only bird that was trying to get out. The rest of them were staying inside eating because I just fed the cage, and they are zombies when it comes down to food, so they're just eating and ignoring everything. And I walked away for a little bit, and the egg layer went back to the cage, went back inside with everything else. I started to think about the fact that that's its comfort. It's a cage. Outside of it, I've got a 4-acre lot that it could wander around in, but it's gotten used to the fact that its food's there, its water's there, its comfort is there. And it would gladly go back to its comfort, even when it's in a cage, than it would go out to freedom. And, I have a long history in my life that y'all don't know about, but, I've been around the world a time or two, and I know what it's like to be when comfort becomes your cage. And part of the difficult thing in life is stepping out of your comfort and stepping into freedom. But you've got to step away from your comfort before you find freedom. And it was just the object lesson of that. My chickens taught me, or reminded me of a lesson today about human nature. If you want freedom, you will many times have to step outside of what you're comfortable with. And what you are comfortable with can so easily become your prison and your cage. So that touched me today, and I'm hoping maybe it touched you. So anyway, you all be safe. This is Joe with Bumbling Acres. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a great and wonderful day. Bye.